Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Gitasha Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 5th of October. Sri Lankan Prime Minister calls on his Indian counterpart Modi decries cross-border terrorism. Donors pledged $13 billion aid to Afghanistan at Brussels conference. And tribals in central India celebrate Dussehra festival with grandeur. And now for all the details. Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, who is in India for a state visit, met the top leadership in New Delhi on Wednesday.
Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe met his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi and held bilateral talks in New Delhi on Wednesday. He also held talks with Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj and Interior Minister Rajnath Singh later in the day. Wickremesinghe's visit assumes significance as Sri Lanka was one of the member countries of South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation or SAARC, which pulled out of the summit that was scheduled in Islamabad in November. He stated that cross-border terrorism is one of the main issues that SAARC needs to discuss and resolve.
Cross-border terrorism is on the table, so we have to, the SAARC heads have to look at this and decide what has happened and how we are going to handle it. Since many of the SAARC members have expressed their views, all of us. So I think SAARC has to really now decide on two issues. One is the cross-border terrorism, wherever it happens in SAARC countries.
The Sri Lankan Prime Minister will also call upon Indian President Pranab Mukherjee on Thursday. He will also address the opening plenary of the India Economic Summit during his visit.
Staying on news from India, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday chaired a cabinet committee meeting on security in the wake of surgical strikes on terror launch pads across the line of control or LOC. According to reports, the Prime Minister took stock of the situation on the LOC and international border as well as the hinterland amid increasing ceasefire violations by Pakistani soldiers. Tensions between India and Pakistan escalated after terrorists believed to have come from Pakistan attacked an Indian army base in Uri sector of northern Jammu and Kashmir province, killing 19 Indian soldiers last month. India then retaliated by conducting surgical strikes against terror launch pads in Pakistan. Pakistani troops are resorting to firing and shelling against India along the line of control and the international border on a daily basis. This has left the locals of the affected areas high and dry as they fear for their lives.
There is no end to Pakistan's violation of ceasefire with India along the de facto line of control and international border. Firing and mortar shelling by Pakistani soldiers across India are reported almost every day. This has sent a wave of panic among the locals in the Indian side. In Rajouri district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province, many have evacuated the area to take shelters in camps provided by authorities. However, some are staying back and taking shelter in makeshift bunkers because their crops are to be harvested.
पानी से तरसते रहे किसी की मेहनत तरला करके देखो हमने जहाँ पानी लाया माँ हमारा ज़मीन का काम बहुत ख़राब हो रहा है हमारी जो ज़मीन है देखो मेरा खाने पीने का प्रबंध जहाँ से होता था वो किसी तरह नुकसान हो रहा था मुझे बहुत घबराहट हो रही है मेरे बच्चे 10वीं 12वीं पढ़ते हैं इसमें पढ़ाई नहीं चल रही
पिछले 2 दिनों से यहाँ पे हैवी शेलिंग चल रही है और शेलिंग का अंदाज़ा आप इसी से लगा सकते हैं कि 120 mm मोटार जो है ये पाकिस्तान ने यूज़ किया है हमारे इलाकों को टारगेट करने के लिए जो कि पिछले काफ़ी वक्त से और जो यहाँ के लोग हैं उनके मुताबिक और जो हमारे बुजुर्ग हैं इनके मुताबिक यहाँ पे 120 mm मोटार कभी यूज़ नहीं की गई पहली बार इतना हैवी फायर जो है वो किया गया है लोगों की ज़िंदगी जो है वो मुश्किल में है लोगों की जान पे बन आई है कुछ लोग माइग्रेट होने की कगार पे हैं और जो हैं वो भी छुप के जो है वो अपनी जिंदगी गुजर बसर कर
Authorities have asked villagers to evacuate to safer havens in the wake of repeated ceasefire violations by Pakistani troops. Tensions between India and Pakistan flared up after India claimed to have conducted surgical strikes against terror launch pads.
A day after an empty Pakistani boat was seized by Indian border guards in northern Punjab province, Indian security forces on Wednesday captured yet another boat in the Kutch area of western Gujarat province. According to reports, the boat had 9 crew members who have been detained for interrogation. This is the third Pakistani boat to be seized by Indian security forces after India conducted surgical strikes last week. India has been on high alert following inputs on possible attacks by Pakistani terrorists. Meanwhile, world powers on Wednesday pledged billions of dollars for war-ravaged Afghanistan until 2020 at talks in Brussels. In exchange for the money in Brussels, donors expect Kabul government to tackle spiraling corruption while working on political reform and human rights.
The two-day Brussels conference on Afghanistan, co-hosted by the European Union or EU and Afghanistan, focused on international support for peace in the country, state building and development, and Afghan reform efforts. Regional powers have agreed to try to relaunch Afghanistan's stalled peace process after almost 40 years of conflict, the EU's foreign policy chief said on Wednesday, as the West sought to raise around $13 billion to fund the country through 2020. Facing a resurgent Taliban 15 years after US forces helped drive militants from Afghanistan, more than 70 nations in Brussels promised more support in tandem with NATO's ongoing military backing. US and EU officials have been encouraged by a smaller peace agreement last month between the Afghan government and a militant group Hizb-e-Islami led by warlord Gulbuddin Hekmatyar.
Hekmatyar's group will be able to emerge from the shadows to rejoin Afghan society. This is a model for what might be possible. We don't know yet, has to be delivered, but it is a very important beginning. And President Ghani, Chief Executive Abdullah need to be congratulated together with all of their government for being willing to make this move, for being willing to take this risk.
Germany had planned to provide $1.9 billion in help for Afghanistan over the next 4 years, but wants Kabul to do more to combat corruption, protect human rights, and work for democratic and economic progress. Germany is one of the main donors to Afghanistan, where the Islamist Taliban group has made significant territorial gains against government forces.
News from Pakistan. There have been concerns among the people of Gilgit-Baltistan over the much publicized China-Pakistan economic corridor. Kashmiri leaders claim that instead of listening to concerns of the people, Pakistan government is using force to decrease dissent.
Right to dissent and freedom of speech and expression are considered to be vital constituents of every democracy. However, people of Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan have been deprived of these rights for decades. Kashmiri leaders claim that many locals and activists have been victims of police and administration for raising their voices against injustice. The situation has worsened after the commencement of the now $51.5 billion worth China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or the CPEC, they allege. Despite Gilgit-Baltistan being the gateway of the mega project, people fear of being left out from its benefits. But instead of listening to their grievances, the administration has used force to clamp down dissidents.
इतने लोगों पर गद्दारी का मुकदमा है. अब जो सी-पैक बन रहा है, यानी कुछ लोग इसको चाइना पाकिस्तान इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर कहते हैं, कुछ कहते हैं चाइना पंजाब इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर, वट एवर टर्मिनोलॉजी आपको सूट करती है वो कहें, हम सी-पैक कहते हैं इन शॉर्ट. अब उसका हमें गिलगित-बल्तिस्तान वालों को कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है, पाकिस्तानी ऑक्युपाइड वालों को कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है. ठीक है, हमारे इससे में तो प्रॉब्लम्स आएंगे. एंड इफ़ वी आर लकी मे बी विल बी अलाउड टू सेल एग्स, दैट इज़ इफ़ वी आर लकी. वो भी शायद पीकिंग से आए, यानी चाइना से आए. तो मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि अब ये कह दिया गया है कि एनीबॉडी हु इज अपोजिंग CPAC उसके खिलाफ सिटिशन चार्जेस आएंगे, यानी कि CPAC की मुखाफत करनी या उस पर ऑब्जेक्शन रेज करना या डिमांड करना कि वी वांट दिस, इसका मतलब ये हुआ है कि आप पर गद्दारी का मुकदमा चल सकता है।
Locals claim the federal government did not provide any mechanism to safeguard their rights. People of Gilgit-Baltistan have no representation in decision-making forums at the federal level, because of which the region has been neglected.
Devotees in India's western Vadodara city took the celebrations of the festival of 9 nights a notch higher. Rain showers did not stop the revelers from performing the traditional folk dance.
The festival of 9 nights on Navratri is one of the most ostentatiously celebrated festivals of the western Gujarat province. Performing Garba, the traditional folk dance of the province, is the highest point of the festival. In the evening, men and women of all ages dress up in colourful and heavily embroidered outfits and gather in large open spaces to perform Garba.
लड़कियों को नवरात्रि तो ऑलवेज पसंद ही होती है। 9 डेज की प्लानिंग पहले से करनी है, बारिश हो या कुछ भी, नवरात्रि तो हम खेलते हैं। न्यू स्टेप्स, न्यू फैशन एंड डिफरेंट चिड़िया चोलीज एंड सब।
ये बारिश में भी हमने नवरात्रि का स्टॉपेज नहीं किया है, हम आज बहुत एंजॉय कर रहे हैं और नवरात्रि माता जी की कृपा से हो रही है और मैं आज यहाँ पे बहुत एंजॉय कर रही हूँ। होपिंग कि बारिश रुक जाए और फिर से हमारे घर में स्टार्ट हो जाए, बिकॉज आई एम टाइम फॉन्ड ऑफ नवरात्रि एंड आई लव टू प्ले गरबा।
The dance is performed in a circular pattern, usually around an idol of goddess Durga placed at the center of the ground. The dance begins with slow beats of the drum and gradually gains rhythm along with fast steps.
A 75-day-long festival known as the longest in the world is being celebrated with full zeal and vigor in the heartland of India's Chhattisgarh province.
Residents in India's tribal heartland of Chhattisgarh province celebrated the ongoing 600-year-old Dussehra festival with pomp and show. Engrossed in religious fervour, diverse tribes and castes in Bastar district of the province performed the age-old rituals with utmost faith. Like every year, the participants of the tribal community took part in pulling the Dussehra chariot, a massive vehicle which hosts the deities. Different tribes supervise the construction, worship of the chariot before it is used and provide ropes to pull the chariot. Over the years, the Bastar Dussehra has become a major attraction for domestic and international tourists as it impresses onlookers with the unique ceremony.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Sri Lankan Prime Minister calls on his Indian counterpart Modi, decries cross-border terrorism. Donors pledged $13 billion aid to Afghanistan at Brussels conference. And tribals in central India celebrate the Dussehra festival with grandeur. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.